Yeah, good morning friends. Welcome to KANISHKA IAS. This is Ramavat Mohan. So we'll be continuing with the previous topic. We were discussing about the Indus water treaty, right? So let me continue. So something about the disputes and legal proceedings. So already we were talking about the hydroelectric projects, right? So run of the river hydroelectric projects had to be followed. But here what happened is, yeah, the thing is that what happened is, like India constructed Kishan Ganga project, that is hydroelectric power project, as well as that is the Kishan Ganga project was constructed on the river Jhelum, and then the second project named as Ratle, that was constructed on the river Chennar. Okay, so why Pakistan is objecting that? Because these are the western tributaries of Indus river basin, okay, river system, where India has constructed the Kishan Ganga project and Ratle hydroelectric power projects, which are blocking the waters. Like, so they are not allowed to construct a dam. Okay, so they are like violating the principle of run of the river. So already I told you what is meant by run of the river. Okay, run of the river is nothing but the hydroelectric power projects. When they are constructed, they should not construct an obstacle or embankment like a dam construction, which blocks the water, which acts as an artificial lake storing the waters. So that is being violated. So that's why Pakistan has raised the concern in the permanent court of arbitration. Okay. So coming to India's position, so why India is opposing? Because directly Pakistan has like skipped the neutral expert. Okay, the second step and it went to the final step. That is, they directly opposed to court of arbitration, that is permanent court of arbitration, which was like basically violating the very dispute resolution mechanism. There are three steps, right? First one is there is permanent Indus commission, okay, or intergovernmental discussions have to be conducted. So after that, they will be approaching the World Bank, where it acts as a mediator and provides a neutral expert. Okay, so there will be some discussions and a decision might be taken. If that is being violated, finally they have to approach the permanent court of arbitration, right? So India's concern was that instead of like they bypassed the second step, that is neutral expert, and went to the permanent court of arbitration. So that's why India was opposing the Indus water treaty. So it was like not participating in the proceedings to resolve the dispute. So there are certain divergent perspectives and challenges, okay, in the Indus water treaty. What are those? Let us discuss one by one. So here the main when we talk about the riparian interests, okay, so there is upper riparian state and lower riparian state. So what do you mean by upper riparian state? Upper riparian state is nothing but wherever the birth of the river is taking place, that is the source of the river, wherever it is, there that state is called as the upper riparian state. So got my points? So here India is the upper riparian state. Okay, because the source of the Indus is like flowing through the first nation is India. So that is called as upper riparian state. So the lower riparian state is nothing but Pakistan. Okay, because after like from the source, from the origin of the river, it is flowing through India and then moving on to Pakistan. So that's why Pakistan is called as the lower riparian state. So here the main purpose of like upper riparian state and lower riparian state is nothing but the water should not be interrupted. There should be uninterrupted downstream. Okay, when the source, the river is flowing like this. So okay, so when you are constructing some embankments in the upper riparian state, then the lower riparian state, they don't receive the downstream. That is, the water will not be available in the lower riparian state, because you are constructing dams or hydroelectric power projects, when you are constructing some embankments, obstacles to stop the flow of the natural flow of the water. So that is the main objection raised by the lower riparian state, that is Pakistan. And there are certain environmental gaps. There are certain environmental gaps. The treaty lacks certain provisions. What are those provisions? To address modern climate challenges. See, we are like facing a lot of modern climate challenges. When you talk about the greenhouse gases are rising day by day, right? Which is leading to the global warming. When the temperatures are raised, then again it is disturbing, okay, the biodiversity. What is that? The variety of species are, whether it is flora or fauna, that is plants and animals, okay, they are being extinct, okay. These temperature differences, that is global warming and this pollution, they lead to the destruction of the plant life as well as the animal life. That is, the flora and fauna will become extinct and the species will be reduced day by day, okay. The species extinction starts and a particular kind of species will be not available. It becomes dead and it will not be available on the planet. So that's the main and one more thing is there are some glacial reserves, okay. Recently we have found in the Uttarakhand there is a glacial lake outburst flow. What is that? Glacial lake outburst flow. So this is nothing but the ice which is like stored in the form of Himalayas, right? Those will be like started melting because of the rise in the temperatures. So why the rising temperatures? Because of the global warming. So excess release of the methane, that is CH4, excess release of methane, CH4, and your carbon dioxide, CO2, which are the major greenhouse gases. These are the main greenhouse gases. The methane and carbon dioxide, they are released into the atmosphere, which is leading to the rise in the temperatures, which leads to the global warming, which is finally impacting the human health and well-being of plants as well as the animals, which is leading to the extinction. So coming to the Pakistan's concerns, the major concerns raised by Pakistan is that the first concern is the water scarcity concerns. So why Pakistan is worried about the water concern? Why? Because India is an upper riparian state, right? So when they are stopping the natural flow, instead of flowing to the downstream, they are like constructing dams over there. So when there is no rainfall, suppose, when there is no rainfall in certain year because of the El Nino impact, then there will be more water flow to the downstream, that is the lower riparian state. That is, in our case, Pakistan will be suffering because of the water scarcity concerns. So Pakistan is fearing, because reduction in the downstream flow of water will lead to like the water scarcity or the limited supply of water to the downstream. So coming to the flow maintenance. So why? The second major thing is flow maintenance. So there should be uninterrupted downstream flow, but when you are stopping the water, you are blocking the waters from its natural flow, then it leads to the water shortage or scarcity to the downstream state, that is Pakistan. And coming to the water terrorism. So alleges India manipulates water resources politically despite Indus water treaty compliance. So what Pakistan is saying is that India is doing they are practicing the concept of water terrorism. Okay, that means they are politically blocking the waters or taking main share of the Indus water treaty, because as per the Indus water treaty, what we have to do is 80% of the waters is shared by Pakistan. Okay, for unrestricted use. Except certain limitations or certain conditions are there, where India can use it for domestic or agricultural purposes, among that 80%. So fine. So that's about the Pakistan's concern. And let's move to the next. So recently, like a couple of days back, there was an article which was published in the Indian Express. So we'll be discussing like what is the need of the article, like what was the concern actually. So the case for updating the Indus Waters Treaty. So here the thing is, Indus Water Treaty was initially established in the year 1960, that is September 19th, 1960. So it's like long back ago. So the Indus Treaty came into existence long ago. That is on September 19th, 1960. So it's almost 66 years past, right? So the population of India during the independence, it was around 36 crores. So imagine like what is the current population of India. As per recent updates, the population growth has increased drastically. Okay, so you can say that it is an explosive growth. So now currently India is having a total population of around 145 crores. So what is the population of India? Current population is 145 crores. But in the year 1947, the population of India was around 36 crores. So it has raised drastically to 145 crores. Almost I think it has increased more than 4 times. So what we have to do is we have to update the treaty based on the current trend and requirements. So this was the article which was published in the Indian Express. So here we discussed already like the country-wise area of the Indus Basin. Like Pakistan is occupying almost 47% of the area of the Indus Basin system, and India is occupying 39%, then Afghanistan 6%, and finally China is allocating or occupying almost 8% of the total Indus drainage basin. So I'll just give a brief summary of the article which was published in the Indian Express. Yeah, coming to the main arguments, okay, like what are those main arguments? Nothing but the river systems are dynamic. So what do you mean by dynamic? See, static is nothing but it will not change. Dynamic is it will change always. So basically the basic characteristic of a river is that a river is never static. It changes its direction while it flows. That means from the source or the birth of the river, okay, the upper stage or upper course of the river, then there will be middle course and the lower course. So as a river flows from the upper to the middle course and finally to the lower course, and it flows into the oceans, okay, seas or oceans. So what I meant to say is, here the river systems are dynamic, okay. Dynamic means they are not static. They are not static. That means the river flow, that means the river flow, the path of the river flow is not static. It changes. So how it changes? Actually the river course changes by forming meandering. So this is called as meandering. So like a snake-like movement. So this is called meandering. So after a certain period of time, what happens is there will be like because of the friction and the force of the waters while they are flowing. So what happens is they may block this path, okay, and the river may change its course and flow like this. Are you getting my point? Sorry. So initially the river was like this, okay, it was flowing like this, but because of the meandering, so this part, the orange color what I am marking is, this part, it gets separated from the main river. So this is nothing but called as Oxbow Lake. So this is nothing but called as Oxbow Lakes. This is the shape of the horns of the ox, right? Okay, the shape of the horns of the ox, so that's why called as Oxbow Lakes. And the river flows like this now. So the river is not static. It changes its course, and it also changes the quantity of water, the amount of water, whatever is flowing. It all depends upon the rainfall, okay, and different surface of the earth as well as, okay, the various streams or channels which are supplying waters to the river. And in our case, we have got the Himalayas, where the glaciers melt, and they also are a permanent supply of water to the Indus river basin here. So we are not going much into the detail here. So coming to the factors changing river systems. So what are the main factors? The first factor is climate change. Okay. So there is we have observed that there are now currently the monsoons are delayed actually. The monsoons have to appear they have to commence in the mid of June, right? But they have delayed, and we are today is 21st, right? Today is 21st or 22nd. So the thing is, even though it is July 22nd, we are not able to receive the monsoons. Okay, because of the changing rainfall patterns. So this is all again a lot of factors are there which are impacting the rainfall and all. So the climate change, and because of the rainfall patterns, that means the rains are decreased. Okay, there is no rainfall. And glacial melt. When glaciers are melt, what happens? It leads to the floods. Again, there will be destruction of the flora and fauna. Okay, again there will be destruction of flora and fauna. And extreme weather events in the sense there can be droughts. Okay, extreme weather there can be floods also. Extreme global warming, the temperatures will go up drastically, again, which will be harming the delicate or sensitive plants and animals, that is sensitive flora and fauna together, which leads to losing of their lives. Okay, finally a particular kind of species become extinct. Yeah, so the second factor is your population growth. Already I told you that during the independence, the population of India was 36 crores. But now, the population has come to 145 crores. The current population of India. So, our domestic users, our agricultural users, they increase drastically because the population growth, it leads to the explosion, right? Explosive growth. So, there is increased demand for water. Okay? What we say is there is a lot of increase in the demand of water, and at the same time we observe other urbanization pressures. So when the cities are growing rapidly, lot of population, again there should be supply of the water for the drinking purpose and others, etc. So coming to the technological advances, there are certain technological advances. Because of the technological advances also, we are facing certain issues in the Indus waters. So better water management. So what do you mean by better water management? When you are talking about, when we say, talking about the agricultural practices, there are irrigation practices, right? So when you are not utilizing the water in a proper manner, then again it leads to the water scarcity, water wastage, right? So we have to go for better irrigation practices. Like say in the case of agriculture, yeah. So better water monitoring. And coming to the modern irrigation techniques. So what are modern irrigation techniques? Modern irrigation techniques we have got like sprinklers, right? Sprinkler irrigation. Then you can go for drip irrigation. Then you can go for like surface irrigation. So surface irrigation is again of three types. It could be like flood irrigation. So here a lot of water wastage will be there. Okay, then comes your border irrigation. And finally we have got basin irrigation. So here surface irrigation will be consuming lots of quantity of water. Why? Because the water will be used unnecessarily in the extra amounts, which will because of the evaporation also there will be water wastage, right? And the water irrigation and basin irrigation are also they are the surface irrigation. And there is another concept of subsurface irrigation. Subsurface irrigation, where surface irrigation is nothing but where the water supply is directly made into the roots, onto the roots. So subsurface irrigation is nothing but wherever plants are there, plant roots. So water is supplied to the roots of the plant. So that's about the modern irrigation techniques and hydrological modeling. So the technological advancements have to be implemented while utilizing the waters, so that will control the wastage of water. Okay, we can reduce the wastage of the water. Then coming to the global trend. So what is all over the world is going on in terms of treaties, like water treaties, right? So here the treaties are regularly updated. In case of the global trend, so all over the world there are around 313 transboundary river basins throughout the world. So there are 313 transboundary river basins worldwide. Okay, so more than 100 river systems have undergone treaty revisions. That means greater than 100 river systems have been updated, right? Updated in the sense whatever needs or requirements are there, they have been made changes or modifications between the countries. There were some sort of discussions which were solving the disputes or resolutions. And coming to the original agreements often evolve through. So how these updations are taking place? The updates are taking place because of the agreements, or it can be in the form of protocols, or it can be supplementary agreements, okay, and data sharing arrangements. So when these are transparent, when all these methodologies or ways of updating or modifying a particular treaty, it can be through amendments, or it can be through in the form of protocols, or it can be in the form of supplementary agreements, and we can share the data. Okay, the data of the rivers could be shared between the countries which are in the treaty. So that's about the global trend and how the treaties are being updated regularly. Yeah, coming to something about the limitations of the Indus Water Treaty. So what are the limitations actually? The treaty was negotiated in the 1950s and signed in 1960s. So many modern water management concepts did not exist then. So during the 1960s, whatever modern technologies like sprinkler irrigation or drip irrigation, subsurface irrigation, these kind of things were not implemented or practiced during the 1960s. Okay, so missing areas. So we'll be discussing what are the missing areas.